Welcome to another episode of Community Coffee and Cocktails, a place where we get to know our local business owners, community leaders, and Space Coast enthusiasts about life in Brevard County. I am your host, Cindy Paulson. Today, I'm talking to Jennifer Pereira. Jennifer is a business development executive with Fidelity National Title. And today, she is here to share with us everything we need to know about title insurance. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I mean, again, as we go through the title insurance, this is the question that I get asked the most. What is title insurance and why do we need it?
Yeah, so title insurance is very important. A lot of people understand what hazard insurance is, and that's the type of insurance that will secure you for anything that could happen in the future to your property. But what people don't think about is there could be flaws in what we call the chain of the title and how the home was passed down even from 30 years ago. Right. So title insurance companies basically protect the consumer, the new buyer, with what could have happened in the past. Right.
Correct.
So title underwriters go back 30 years.
Okay.
And do research. And if a seller has a title policy that they can provide, then we don't have to go as far back because that title insurance will be basically covering them. And then we would maybe only have to go back 10 years if they've owned the property for 10 years after they first purchased it. So what we do is we go back and we check all the deeds. We check all the power of attorneys or anything that could have been associated with that property being moved by ownership from person to person. So some of the things that can happen, like, with hazard insurance, you think about like the future for fires. So for us, what we're concentrating on is to make sure that, if grandma passed away, and there were 3 heirs, and a 4th heir comes up years later and says, hey, wait a minute, I just recently found out that I was supposed to be one of the heirs and I didn't sign off, for this home to be sold. So they would be able to place a claim with the title insurance, and then the new buyer wouldn't be affected by it. Now, if they wanted to sell, then that person came forward, then they have to place the claim, and yes, there could be a little bit more additional time, but that's one good example of what can happen, what can go wrong when you're basically transferring real property.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you sell a home, the seller is paying for basically a reissue of the title insurance to the new buyer. You'll also see on a settlement for the buyer side, there's a lender policy.
Yes.
Because they want to be protected
as
too.
Well. Correct.
And it's simultaneous, so it's not like there's 2 charges that are the same. We obviously, give a discount that's between $300 and $400 for the lender side of the insurance.
That's excellent.
So if you see anything more, then that's not right.
That's not aligning with the charge.
Yeah.
So now, what is the fee? So I'm glad you brought that up. What is the fee for title insurance?
Yeah, so it depends on that purchase price. So I'm going to just give you a quick example, something I ran through on our calculator. On a $500,000 purchase price, the title insurance would be $2,575. And this is a regulated industry. Well, we're a Fortune 500 company, so Fidelity National Title is backed. We are our own underwriter.
Oh, that's great.
So we have attorneys working in our plant, in our underwriting plant. So definitely choose a company that has a nationwide reach.
And that has been around a long time, and that's financially stable, that's going to be around for years to come should you have an issue down the road.
When you need to.
So it really is important to get somebody who's reputable, who's been around for years and years and years, and just going to be there for you.
Definitely.
So, well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, do you have time for some rapid round questions?
Sure.
So let me ask you, what's your favorite coffee or cocktail?
Ooh, okay, I'll answer both.
Okay.
Yes, because we're coffee and cocktails. So obviously before 5 o'clock, I have recently found province. They call it, that was the name, and it's honey and lavender, like bitters.
Delicious.
Unbelievable. Ooh. And then my favorite cocktail is just Tito's and some...
I happen to have some.
Oh, yeah. You never know.
It's not 5 yet.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So yeah, Tito's and soda with a little lime.
That's my girl. So what's your favorite restaurant here in Brevard County?
Oh my goodness.
And you can pick one.
Wow. So I'm from Central Florida. So wow. I don't really know.
Great Floridians on the show. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you like Gastropub. I know you mentioned that we were going to go there one time. Pizza Gallery.
Yes, Pizza Gallery.
There's so many great
anything
ones.
Like small business.
Yes.
Love to support, people, especially during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And we're struggling and, need to get back and get going. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, last question. What is one thing that you're grateful for?
Oh my goodness.
If you can narrow it down to one. I have 10.
I know. Family and friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Super important, especially when you're going through a pandemic or hard times. Just to know that you have somebody you can pick up the phone and just talk to for advice. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining me. Where can people find you?
Wow. Let's see. I am on Facebook under my full name. So if you ever need anything, you can always reach out. I love referrals and love to help people if they're having an issue or just a question. We don't even have to have your file in process to help you. But I can be reached at 407-883-6292 on my cell.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned for your 1-minute market update. Chances are, when it comes to credit, you've heard about FICO and Experian and Vantage and more. But what do they all mean and what are the differences? Well, credit scores are ways to evaluate your financial reputation. The 3 main credit bureaus are Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And they each have different information about you. Even though they do use the same model to go to your score, all 3 could still get a different result. Then there's a FICO score, which is the oldest and most widely used scoring model, allegedly used by 90% of the top lenders to judge your credit worthiness. This is the one you hear about the most in commercial and the one that is offered to you monthly by your credit card provider. In essence, FICO is like Google and Amazon. How do you know which one is best for you? You can find out what kind of methodology your lender uses. The best bet is to keep your credit history clear and strong so that you'll come out with a high score no matter what model is being used to get your loan. Brevard closed sales are up by 43.3% for April 2021, in which the number of closed units was 1,099, compared to 767 in April 2020, with an increase in cash sales of 186.4%. Please send your questions to realestatehousewives@gmail.com or direct message me here. Be sure to check out my website, realestatehousewives.com, and peruse through our hundreds of listings on the beautiful Space Coast, home to attractions like Kennedy Space Center, the Brevard Zoo, beautiful shoreline sunsets, and much more. Cindy Paulson, raising the bar in residential real estate. Until next time, smile and be well.